Good evening, guys. So today we'll be going through one more PYQ, one more previous year question paper that would be from the year 2023. All right, this is going to be year 2023's question paper. We will try to do both the sessions. If not, we'll do just one session. So let me just get the first session question paper. So was the January session question paper, and the next one would be the April session question paper. So first, let's just go through the January one. Am I audible? Are you able to hear what I'm saying, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. What is the case? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So last day, we were doing problems of question papers from 2024 and 2025. I think we did both 2024 and 2025. So today, let's have a look at 2023 question paper. Can you see the screen, guys?
It's loading, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I can see now.
Okay, fine. So this was the question paper. Remember, I told there was a tribal woman in one of the questions. They had asked to draw a proportionate sketch of the tribal women. Okay, so this was that problem. So this beautiful woman, we were asked to draw a proportionate sketch of this given reference image. So as mentioned in the other problems, always the first problem will mostly be about using black and white rendering techniques. That is using shading, pencil shading. Okay. So this is a very close-up picture, right? This is just still her shoulders. Okay. Just still her shoulders is going to be visible in this. And so that we can start with here, the focus is on the head of the person, right? Okay, not even torso. Torso is not visible in this one. There only head is visible. So head has more focus. There is more emphasis given to the head of the subject here. So what are we to do? We have to perfect that. We have to perfect it and make it more proportionate. We have to perfect it and make it more proportionate. All right. So for that, first we have to identify what is this person's shape of their head like. What is the size of their head? or at what partition comes their eyes and nose and rest of their features. This proportion might be slightly off because of the uh, copy of picture from the question paper, but currently it's fine. You guys are just practicing, so it is fine as long as you are understanding what is happening. And so if you look at a head, if you consider this head to be an extension of a perfect ball, okay? A perfect ball. So let's say this um this person's head is a, okay, never mind. This is a perfect ball. Yeah. Okay. In that case, we are going to, okay, here we are going to have line of their eye, and then you're going to split it like this. Okay, wherever the eye is, we will draw a line there, and then through this middle, through the middle, let's draw a line like this vertically. Okay, this is to show where the nose will be at. So somewhere in the middle of this quarter, we'll start our we'll start our lower part of the face. Okay, and then this circle we will cut a little bit from here and then a little bit from here, and that is where the ear comes. The ear of the person should come there. All right, and this part they'll have their lips over there, and at the end of this circle their nose will be there, and on this line their eyes will be there. Okay, and above the line their eyebrows should be there. All right, now since they are tilting their head a little bit to the down, now it's not very noticeable, it's kind of subtle, but because of that a lot of their head is visible. Okay, so you can show that in the end, you can show that how their hair is going, like the direction of the strands of their hair. Just have to follow it. Do not just do like this, okay? Whatever direction the hair is going, try to follow it, okay? Then only it will look more natural, okay? So then, like that, do an outline of the hair, okay? And then after that, what? After that, do the decorative elements. That is, there is a thread tied to her neck. I mean, sorry, thread tied to her forehead, and there is some kind of a painting on her face, like a face paint. Then her chin is very prominent, and her eyes are very intense. They have an intense gaze. They are set inside, deep inside, and then there are some feathers on her headband. There is a headband here, and that shows that she is part of uh, some indigenous cultural community. And the tip of the feathers are of a darker color. Okay, that also you have to mention. Okay, that also you have to note. And then there is something fancy coming out of the feather, and her earrings are also, these things are secondary. First, you have to figure out the shape of the person's head. Okay, like this. And then I'm going to, if they're looking straight at me, they're looking straight at me, their eyeline will be somewhere here. Okay, or if they're little gazing a little down, their eyeline will be here. Okay, and then it will be here, the middle line. Since their nose, they're gazing straight at me, so their nose is facing towards the front. So the line will be in the middle. And then, according to the person's this thing, their facial shape, we will adjust the rest and we'll go ahead with the drawing. Sides of the circle, you will have to cut it according to the wideness of this person's face. All right. And here comes the eyes. Okay, here comes the eyes. And here will come the nose. And here the lips should come. Somewhere here the ear should come. Okay. Ears of the person should come here. And then the eyes. Yeah, eyes, and then the rook of the nose, and then their forehead. Yeah, forehead, and then more hair. Okay, this is where their neck starts. Okay, this is one example. Okay, now if we were to draw someone looking to the side, what will we do? First, we will have, similarly, we will have a ball. When we draw a face, we'll have a ball. Ball is not balling. Okay, ball. Okay, so this ball, it might not be a perfect ball, but it's still a ball. Now this thing, okay, so this ball, let's say the person is supposed to look to this side. Okay, so what should I do? I should first choose the direction of their nose, where their nose is facing this side. Okay, so what will happen? The line will go around the sphere like this. Yeah, the line will go around the sphere like this, and the other line, the line where the eyes should come, it will go like this, like normally. Okay, it's like they're facing in this direction or in this direction. No, wait, this direction. Okay, so that is where their eye is. That is where their eye is facing. So in that case, what will we do? We'll draw like this, and then we will cut out the portion for ears. Like usual, like how we cut portions here. This is how you cut in the 3D view. All right. So this is somewhere the ear should come. Yeah, that we will come to that later. Now, the person's eye and then their nose. Okay, their nose. Okay, and then their mouth. Yeah, and then somewhere here. Oh, wait, that is where their nose should come. At the end of the sphere, their nose should come, right? Okay, in that case, okay, I'll slightly erase this portion so it makes more sense. Hmm? Yes. Hmm. Uh, Here something on this side will be a ear and there will be eye. Okay. Eyes on both sides, there will be eyes. And This looks kind of off because this line I can't remove it. Wait, I'll do one more time. So, whatever side we are looking from, the details on that side, this is the case of when the vision or the view is angled. Okay. So, in that case, whatever side we are looking from, the details on that sides would be more because we are seeing that side more. That side is more visible to us. Okay. So, the details on that side will be more compared to the other side. Yes. So, here, there. Ear should come there, and then the eye should be there. For that, let's just draw the thing. Okay, and then like previously hair or whatever you can add. Okay, so basically when you draw heads, you can go with this, or you can have can start with maybe eyes, and then you can have your nose. Whatever style that is suitable for you, you can go with that. Yes, and then you can connect, and then you can do that. But the issue is the shape of the head may or may not go disproportionate. They'll go off proportion. So what you can do is you can either stick to methods like this, Dumas method, or like methods like this, or you can just start with one feature, and then using that as a reference, you can go ahead and draw the other things in that person's face. Okay, so that is there. And also, when you do that, you are at a higher risk of going what off proportion. So, according to your time and according to your uh, experience or expertise, you can choose whatever method that feels comfortable for you. Okay. Personally, I would go with this because it is, especially when it is someone who's looking directly to the front side, like in this picture, the woman is looking directly to the front. So in that case, it is very easy for you to follow that method and replicate her picture. Okay, so here the expression of the woman is also of utmost importance. Like I said last day, a serious looking woman should not be smiling, or a sad person or a happy person should not be looking sad by the time you're done drawing. Okay, so emotions conveying is a really important task. The When you look at this woman, what kind of emotion is she giving off? She is serious, or she is serene. Okay, there is some kind of a serene feeling about her. She has an intense gaze coming from her eyes. Okay, and then she is grounded. She looks very confident. Okay, so all those things are part of her features and her expressions. Okay, so her expression or the subject's expression is very important. It should not change. throughout, the person should have the same expression, more or less. And the certain uh, quirks in their expression should be should be noted, like if it's a small smirk, okay, or if it's a mole on their face, or if it's something that is out of place, it is there for a reason. You have to enhance it and show it when you draw it. Enhance it as in it should be visible. It should be visible that you have taken in that small detail, that you have looked deeply enough into the picture and understood what is going on there. Okay, this is basically storytelling while drawing. Okay, this is a way of storytelling. Drawing is a way of storytelling. So now that is about that picture. Now let's look at the other question from this question paper.
Your voice is not audible.
What about now? Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, we can use as many of these shapes as we want, as long as you are sure that it will be in a motorcycle. So, make sure not to cross the constraints. Whatever constraints given in the problem, keep them in mind. Minus these constraints. Other than these constraints, what all do you have? You can use infinite amount of these shapes as much as you want. And you can have colors. Even though you can only have three colors, you can have colors and you can choose what colors you want. Okay? So it has to be a 2D composition. Yeah. So such a composition you have to come up with, and it can have any of the design elements. These are not the only design elements, or just anything literally. I just mentioned these because it is of importance in design when it comes to design. And also, when you draw something, make sure to have an interesting factor in it. Okay, something that is peculiar to it, that will make you want to uh, admire the picture. Not admire as such, but that will give more meaning to the drawing you are creating. Okay, right. So that was the second question of 2023 January session. Now let's have a look at the April session. What happened in the April section? So, April session, first question was to, we were given a black and white picture as usual, and we were asked to sketch the black and white picture. Yes? We were given a black and white figure, and we were asked to sketch the black and white figure. And in this case, what is this monument? Can someone name this monument for me? Is it that difficult for you to identify what this monument is? The different tiers of colors. It looks very Indian. There are scribblings on this Arabic. And there is decorative elements on the top. Does it not ring any bells for you guys? Have you not seen?
Qutub Minar.
Yes, Qutub Minar. Very good. Okay, Qutub Minar. And we were asked to draw this. Yeah, replicate this as such onto the paper. Proportionately same. And here we have something that may help us make a more accurate drawing. Here also, since you can use grids, some people they might have used grids. Uh, you can use grids in this also. You will have you can have it divided into 4 vertically, and then can have it divided into 3 horizontally. Okay. So in that case, what happens is, somewhere here, the Qutub Minar's top portion. Yeah, top portion of Qutub Minar is happening. Okay, and then you are given these lines. Yeah, these lines that so what you can do is you can use your scale and your pencil and then you can draw these lines. Okay, so they'll be more accurate. So when you have such a provision, when you have this grid system, what it does is it helps you be more accurate with your drawings. Since they are sort of a perspective kind of a picture with a vanishing point and everything, what you can do is you can have guidelines. So basically, the the extension, the moldings, everything on the wall is basically they are all straight lines, and from this angle, they look like uh, they're all going to join at a point. Okay. So in that case, yes. So yeah, so you can do that, and then you can go ahead and uh, do your, you know, you can mark it here, and then you can do like continuous of that here to show that it is curved or rectangular or whatever. Okay, so that is how it works, and the same thing. You will have to take some time and do the minute decorations here. There are a lot of details over here. Okay, a lot of pattern here. There is one kind of a pattern, and then here there will be a different kind of a pattern, and here there are inscribings in Arabic. There are something, okay? There are some inscriptions, and like that, there are a lot of details bottom of towards the bottom of this Qutub Minar. So once you do that, the stuff at the top, they won't be that visible since they are at a distance from the viewer. So it will be comparatively distorted. So, one second. Okay. So, like that, the second portion, which is at some distance from the bottom, it will not have, it will still have details, but it won't be that visible from below. So what you can do is you can save time while drawing the portions there, because you don't have to be as precise as you did when you were drawing the bottom portion. Okay. And then they'll get smaller and smaller as they're going away from you, because they're a perspective element, so it will get smaller and smaller the more it goes away from you. So that is there. And so, and then the element at the top, the decorative element at the top, you can finish it off by giving proper shading. And basically, instead of just drawing, you can have shadow and light do the work. Like you can have black to represent shadow, and then you can leave white spots in between to show that there is a spot there where light is shining over there. So instead of just drawing that, like black on white. You can have mostly black and then use white to show the lines that is going on there. Okay. So that'll also look really nice if you are able to pull it off properly. So all these detailing, you'll have time. If you have time in the end, you can do that. But you have to make sure to have a form first. So the form, it has to go first. Okay? That is of more importance. So if your form is not proper, whatever you're working on, there is a chance for it to look very bad. Okay. So, as long as you have a proper form, drawing these guidelines and everything, it won't take much time. So, first you have to draw these guidelines and then you can start with your drawing. Okay. So, either way, do not waste your time going deeply into these elements. You see this in between these two curved lines, you see these thousands of small, small things. Okay. So they are carvings on the wall. They are carvings on the walls. They are decorative elements done on the wall. Now, this thing, it'll take so much time for you to sit there and do it as it is given in the picture. So what you can do is you can either hatch it, hatch it using squiggly lines, or you can do it at the end. See, if you're allotting 40 minutes for each drawing, you can do it in the last 10 minutes or last 15 minutes, if that is even possible, because you will take some time drawing the other things properly. Okay. So don't worry about that. Just focus on keeping it proportionate and uh, the black and white technique should also be more or less same as that in the picture. Okay, so wherever there is white, you can have spaced out shading, and then wherever it is black, you can have closely drawn lines or shading. Okay, so the way you shade the picture is up to us. Different people will be comfortable with different kind of shading techniques. If you are a person who is interested in drawing something first and then using your hand to smudge it, that is also fine. But if you are a person who is using hatching entirely for shading, that is also fine, but then be a little mindful of the time at hand. What do you have? How much time do you have? And how much of these things you can cover in that given time? Maybe you can mention these small rectangles shown here of the stone, marble, whatever that is used, that you can like mention one or two here and there, just to show that you have observed, you have noticed that element in the picture. Okay. Okay, so that will be a really good element, but also that will all come in the later part of drawing. Okay, first is to understand the picture and draw the basic form of the picture, and then you will be good to go. All right. Now let's look at the second question. Second question also something that has to do with shapes, 3D shapes and all. So create an interesting sculpture. One second, can you guys see the screen? All right.
It's loading, ma'am.
Okay, one second. Now you must be able to see it. So Create an interesting sculpture using basic 3D shapes of sports elements. Example, different balls, bats, etc. So balls, a ball, maybe you can use a racket, maybe you can use, yeah, maybe a bigger ball, yeah, or like maybe a rugby. You know how rugby looks like flat like that, yeah. Mm. So these different kinds of sports element you can use, and you can scale it according to your wish. You can have a ball this big and a bat this big, whatever, that is up to you. So you are supposed to create an interesting sculpture. Okay, a sculpture that is like uh, a sculpture using 3D shapes. Okay, so you just can't draw like a 2D figure. You will have to draw what goes on here. Like when you turn it, how would it look? It will have a form. It will have a solid form. So it has to be like that. So you have to be mindful of that. Okay. So what kind of a sculpture are you making? What are the different what are the different elements of sports you will be using? You can use like a cricket bat or something, or you can use wickets. Yeah, but like whatever elements you will be finding in cricket, that is a sport, or you can use a rugby ball. Yeah, all those things up to you. You can use whatever you want, as long as they are 3D and they are part of a sports item. Okay, so draw the effect of light and shadow on your composition. So choose anywhere in the drawing where you want light to shine from. Let's say light is coming from this direction. Okay, this direction light is coming from. The light will fall here. It won't fall directly under that. It might fall here. It will fall mainly here. Maybe little bit here it will fall. Yeah. And then here and slightly. And then underneath this, there won't be any light. Like that, light will be falling. Rest of it will be what? Rest of will be in shadow or shade. Okay, so that you have to mention. Here the shade will be more, and towards the end the shade will be less. Will be more light. That is at least light reflecting off the floor. So like that you can mention. Yes. So that is that. And you can use colors of your choice. When you draw the effect of light and shadow in the composition, you need not necessarily use black and white. You can have them in the color of your choice. The light can be of a color of your choice. The elements can be of your color. You don't have to stick to the normal colors. If you want a pink bat, you can have a pink bat. If you want a fluorescent green ball, you can have a fluorescent green ball. Okay, as long as you have that color with you, it's fine. Because in the question paper, it's mentioned that you can have them the way you want. Use colors of your choice. Okay, so in that case, you're free to use whatever color you want. As long as long as you don't go out of the constraints of what elements you can use in the picture, you will be good to go. Also, since they especially mentioned that they have 3D shapes of sports elements, try to stick to the 3D shape. Okay, when they asked us to do 3D, if even if you are only aware of what the form looks like in 2D, to try to draw it in 3D. Try to make a version of how it will look in 3D if it were to be 3D, because you might not remember it, because maybe you're not familiar with that element and you need more element. So you're just choosing whatever first thing that comes to your mind. So you might not be aware of it, but then still try to try to draw the 3D of it, how it will look if it had a solid base, okay? Because it is a 3D element, okay? So it will have more width, it will have more dimensions. So how will that look? That you have to figure out by using your imagination and also common sense. All right. So can you give me a sports element other than the ones I've already mentioned? Can you guys think of any sport elements? Because this is currently I can only think of these things: balls and bat, cricket bat, rugby ball. Can you guys give me one or two elements of sports elements that you can observe in sports? Any idea?
Hockey bat.
Yes, hockey stick. Very good. Anything else? Okay, fine. So let that be. So that is it. That is it for today. That is it for today. And I will be, as usual, I'll be updating the notes. So the link I sent yesterday, if you check that, you will also find today's notes. And yes, in case you have any doubts, questions regarding how to solve drawing questions, how to solve aptitude questions, you can always let me know in the group. I'll be answering whenever I see it. So all the best for your exams. It's going to be very easy actually, because like aptitude is very it's reasoning kind of questions. So as long as uh you have a basic idea of how things work and how objects are how 3D works, how you have like the basic idea about how things are, you are mostly good to go. And drawing, I've told you different questions and how they may ask those different questions, and what all different methods you can imply depending on what the reference image is. So try to apply all that. Try going through the notes from last day, and if possible, go through previous year questions and find out more questions on drawing as well as aptitude. And mathematics, probably you might already be knowing a lot since you have been preparing for JEE math of paper 1. The math is same as that only. So there is not much difference in that. So yes, that is it for today's class. And we will be meeting in the next class. Until then, bye bye. All the best. You may leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.